Life was happening in a different way than what I expected, and I was forcing it to be something it was not, and I was not appreciating what it was. Today is a new day. I am Nikki G, your host. Welcome to the Lone Doctrine, a safe space to bridge the gap between your authentic self and your mental health. We are your food for thought exploration station in order to make today better than yesterday. Welcome. The topic of the month, which we choose every month, pun intended, is expectations. This year, starting out right now, we have been inundated with chaos. But there's always a silver lining. And in that silver lining, even in hardship, there's always an opportunity. And with all of these opportunities, we can really take advantage of the lesson that is within, even if we can't see it, even if it's just in the mud, of using this time to really better our lives. We may have had these grandiose expectations as we first got through all the changes of last year, and then we thought, okay, a lot of us who were on lockdowns, a lot of us who had these massive things happen, whether we lost our jobs or we weren't getting as much work, or we were having family members who were getting sick, whether we had to separate from family members, and those who unfortunately lost their loved ones, this was a lot of weight to bear. And sometimes we have these expectations of life, and sometimes life can really throw us a curveball. You may feel that during this time, you had all the time in the world. What were you going to do? We saw all kinds of things and really inventive stuff start happening on social media. People were having to get more creative with their home life and their kids and school and all of these things. And there was really two ways to view all of this. How much are we losing, or how much have we gained? And I kind of take the time to really look at the expectations I put on my own life and really ask myself if it's serving me, if it's serving others. Is it bettering me, or is it just putting this extra pressure? And sometimes releasing that pressure actually helps you get more done. Have you ever thought, okay, today I'm going to clean the house, I'm going to do laundry, I'm going to read, I'm going to finish that project, and you start making this awesome list of to-dos, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on your phone watching TikTok or on social media or just binging on Netflix, and you didn't even get one thing done. I'm sure we've all been there in some sort of way where we had this great expectation of our day and the day happened completely different. Whether it be our own weight that we put on and the pressure, or life just threw us a curveball and something else happened. That's happened to me over and over and over again. And I had to take the time to release the pressure because life was happening in a different way than what I expected. And I was forcing it to be something it was not. And I was not appreciating what it was. I was not in the moment. I was so removed from the moment that I couldn't cherish the good things, the silver linings in what felt like everything was bad. Because sometimes we can get so clouded, we can't see the forest through the trees, and we're met with all these expectations, and then we define not meeting those expectations negatively, and then we have this pressure that we put on ourselves that doesn't do anyone, especially ourselves, any good. When you release that pressure and you have all these things you want to do, the small steps are the most important steps because those steps are what help you actually accomplish those things. And it could be tasks, it could be to-dos, it could be projects, but it also could be really accepting and finding a new lifestyle that is healthier for your mind and your body. Taking those small steps and having those feelings of feeling good, of having those moments of celebrating even the smallest success, is the motivation that we all need to keep moving forward. We want to be able to consistently raise our vibration, or however you want to define it, to feel good, to find that feeling of feeling good about what we did and about who we are. And little by little through life, we are planting those seeds, and we're coming into all these different chapters where we're going to be able to look back and realize how many different steps were actually success after success after success after success. There's a saying I always used to say, well, sometimes I still say, do good, feel good. Do right, feel right. It's a way for me to really focus on what I'm doing and the feeling of what I'm doing within that task or with that project or within the journey of my own betterment. So today I wanted to give you some ways to think about how you can continue those small steps. Here are some ways to release that pressure, to let you off the hook, but ironically, possibly motivate you to do more than you've ever done. Number 1, let go of thinking, I am not doing enough. Let go of thinking, I am not doing enough. This is something I personally struggle with a lot. In our modern world, we constantly are moving, engaging with others via social media, our phones, email. It feels like we could always be doing more. When there were no smartphones and we couldn't have access to communication 24/7 like today, we had less expectations of what we could complete. So maybe just for today, we can think about shortening our to-do list so that we have less expectations of what we will accomplish for one day. Remember to tell yourself at least once a day that you are doing a good job and that you are doing the best for today. Remember, if that 1 or 2 tasks are not completed today, you can always complete them tomorrow. It is better to take self-care breaks than it is to push yourself to a state of being stressed. This practice of being kind to yourself will help improve your relationships with others. If you are more patient and kind to yourself, you will be more likely to emulate that towards others, and you will get more done and be more productive. Number 2, stop comparing your insides to someone's outsides. Do you have difficulty with thinking that someone else has their life together because they have the car, they have the partner, the house, and the kids? I understand this way of thinking and being trapped in this paradigm that we are missing out on life, but it's not true. We all have different life paths. We all have been placed on this earth for a reason, and we all have a purpose. We manifest what we think in our lives. The question is, what are you manifesting in your life? Are you working towards the thing you desire? How are you taking steps to do these things? What are you thinking? If you believe that these external things will create happiness for you, then you are continuing to set yourself up for disappointment. No matter what material things that you gain, you will not bring lasting happiness. Happiness and a sense of ease comes from within. Try developing your relationship with yourself and your higher source, whatever that may be, to help you feel fulfilled. Number 3, be grateful for what you have instead of what you don't have. This is what I was just talking about, is that we can go through life and miss it all because we're so worried about the expectations we're holding that we're living in this fictitious future and we're not seeing everything that is good that's right in front of us. This comes down to being a person who sees the glass half empty versus the glass half full. If you truly want to live a life with more joy in it, having a regular gratitude practice is necessary. The practice of gratitude has been found to help reduce physical symptoms and creates a better outlook on life. Try writing a gratitude list for a week every morning. This has proven to raise mood and the outlook on life, when a person continually does this for a month, they can reduce depression symptoms and the feelings of isolation, which is more important than ever right now. When you practice gratitude on a daily basis, you have a more balanced view of life. Less bothers you because you see things with a clearer perspective and seeing the greater whole. Learning to practice gratitude in every area of your life is the goal. Then we can let go of the polarity of thinking things are either good or bad. They're just part of life. Now, you might be thinking within this last year that, what do I have to be grateful for? You may have been going through really, really hard times. And I'm here to tell you that your story is not mine, but I have been through some pretty tough times. And even within those times, I always say life happens all at once because there is good. And I want to encourage you, as difficult as it may be, start with something small. It could be something as small as, I am grateful for the bed I am laying in. I am grateful for the pillow my head is laying upon. I am grateful for the roof over my head. I am grateful for the food on my table. I am grateful for the clothes on my back. Go as small as you possibly can, and you realize how much we actually take for granted. I'm grateful for the ability to walk. I'm grateful for the ability to move. I'm grateful for the ability to breathe. These are things that can create the momentum of really being able to change your perspective to see the good that's all around you, even when times are hard. This is really important because when times are hard, when you have all these expectations and they're not being met, you can get sucked into the hole of negativity so fast. And before you know it, you've set up camp and you're stuck. I don't want you to be stuck. I want you to release these expectations, and I want you to be able to take the clouds away, take those negativity glasses off, and see the good that's all around you. Forgive yourself for being imperfect. As human beings, we're all flawed and imperfect. We must recognize this. For when we don't let ourselves off the hook, we continue to live in the ego, which blocks us from our higher selves. When we are kind to ourselves, we release the situation. When we judge ourselves, we store the situation in our bodies and it becomes another burden that we carry. Who needs more baggage, especially after this last year? I certainly don't, and I'm pretty sure you don't either. So allow yourself to be perfectly imperfect today and every day. Do your best. Keep moving forward. Practice these things because it doesn't happen overnight. Your betterment happens every day. Your betterment happens within the choices you make in every single moment. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to make a mistake. Sometimes you're going to need to learn that lesson. And sometimes that lesson's going to come to you over and over and over and over again until you'll finally have that light bulb moment in realizing maybe this is happening to me so many times because I need to dig deeper. I need to find that lesson. I need to have that sense of willingness and humility. And I need to work and bust my to make this life the best life I've ever lived because I'm here today, I'm alive, and I can make it happen. So I invite you to go back to the beginning of the month and realize that I'm talking about expectations in a way that most people don't talk about them. I'm telling you to release them, to throw them in the ocean, to start with a blank slate today and make sure that you are supporting yourself in the deepest ways possible because you are important. Your story is important. Your purpose is important. And even though times might be scary right now, even though you may be confused, scared, you don't know what to do, it just takes those small steps. And as you continue those small steps, you'll open the doorway to betterment and a better life. So today and every day, keep fighting the good fight.